Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into the mind of a lonely dreamer wandering through the magical, moonlit streets of St. Petersburg in Dostoevsky's beautiful short story, White Nights. It all unfolds over just 4 fleeting nights.
Okay, let's just start with this line, because it hits you right in the gut. 8 years. Can you even wrap your head around that? For 8 years, in a massive, bustling city, our narrator has been completely, utterly alone. He's basically a ghost.
So you get the picture, right? This guy is so isolated that his friends, well, they aren't people. His friends are the buildings he passes every day. The city itself is his entire social circle.
And he really commits to it. He has this whole inner world built around just watching. He'll notice a little old man and make up a story. He'll see a charming pink house and feel like it's a dear friend. He actually gets sad when one of his favorite houses gets repainted a different color. He knows thousands of faces, he knows their routines, but here's the kicker. Not a single one of them knows he even exists.
But then, one of those famous St. Petersburg white nights, when it never truly gets dark, his entire solitary world gets turned upside down. He hears something, a sound that isn't just in his head. And in that one moment, everything changes.
I mean, look at this timeline. It all happens so fast. A man who hasn't spoken to anyone in years goes from ghost to hero in what, like 2 minutes? He sees a woman crying, scares off some drunk guy, and suddenly he's not alone anymore. They're walking, they're talking, a connection is made.
So Nastenka is grateful, and she agrees to see him again. But she lays down one very, very important rule. It's a real gut punch for a romantic dreamer like our narrator. She's offering him friendship, which is more than he's had in years, but she puts a hard stop on the one thing he wants most in the world: love.
Okay, so night 2. This is where things get really interesting. This is the night of confessions. To get her to open up, our narrator has to explain himself first. He has to explain what it means to be a dreamer.
And Dostoevsky gives us this absolutely wild definition. The dreamer isn't even a person, he says, but a creature of a neutral gender. What does that even mean? It's like they're so disconnected from real life, from action and passion, that they exist in this weird in-between state, powered only by imagination. So let's get inside his head for a second. For the dreamer, his imagination isn't just a fun escape. It's more real than reality. He lives out entire lifetimes in his mind, epic romances, heroic battles. And then, when the dream is over, coming back to his quiet, gray little room feels agonizing. It's like a hangover from a much better, much more vivid life.
And just when you think our narrator's life is strange, Nastenka tells her story and, wow, her story of isolation is just as bizarre. To keep her out of trouble, her blind grandmother literally, and I mean literally, pinned Nastenka's dress to her own with a safety pin for 2 years. She was a prisoner in her own home, tethered to her grandmother.
And that's why she was crying by the canal. A year ago, a man staying in their house opened up the world for her. He promised he'd come back in exactly 1 year to marry her. Well, the year is up. He's back in town, and he hasn't come for her. All her hope was pinned on this one promise, and it seems to be broken.
All right, here we are, the 4th and final night. This is the emotional peak of the whole story. Nastenka has finally given up hope that her old love will return. And in that despair, an opening is created for something totally new.
You can almost see the gears turning in her head right here. On one side, you have the man she thought she loved, proud, serious, and now someone who's abandoned her. And on the other side, you have the dreamer, the one who actually listens, the one who is right there for her when she's falling apart.
And seeing her so heartbroken, our narrator he can't hold it in anymore. He knows it's against the rules, he knows it's probably a mistake, but his heart just spills out. He tells her he loves her. And then, the impossible happens. The thing he's only ever dared to imagine. She says it back. In that moment of pure vulnerability, she realizes that the man who was there for her all along is the one she truly values. She sees his kindness, his nobility, and she chooses him. She loves him. For one brief, shining moment, the dreamer gets everything he has ever wanted. His entire fantasy life, all the love stories he's written in his head, they all just became real. His love is returned. He is no longer alone. It is a moment of pure, unfiltered happiness.
And so we leave him there, right at the absolute summit of his joy. But this is Dostoevsky, and with Dostoevsky there's always a question lurking, isn't there? A dreamer has finally found real happiness, not in his imagination, but in the real world. But in a world as unpredictable as ours, how long can a moment like that possibly last?